And your first sign that it's there is going to be the privy sign. So that sign points toward the privy. This huge old cherry tree over here with another privy sign on it. And above that you have the disc pointing to the campsite. There's a really nice erratic there with tree growing off the top of it. Lots of moss, it's beautiful. There's your campsite trail. Nice wide flat trail again. It's a little bit undulating, but no big roots or boulders sticking up to trip you as you walk. And again, just the uneven ground. You'll have to watch out for this uneven ground if you're walking on this trail, especially at night. There's the privy. It's a box privy. Not very far off the trail. Not a lot of privacy there. There's the trail out to the main trail. And there's the trail down to the campsite. Come into the campsite. The open area. There's a slope down to the water. It's a sloping campsite here. Overall, the ground looks fairly well drained. Of course, it's on a slope, so a lot of the water will run off. Fairly good-sized clearing, although with this slope, I wouldn't set a tent up in this clearing. Most folks probably set their tents up over there to the left of the fire ring as you're looking at the lake. Even that has a little bit of a slope and unevenness to it. A little bit of a root sticking up toward the back there. It doesn't look muddy, which is a plus. The prevailing winds put it upwind of the fire pit, which is also nice. And it's a good distance from the fire ring. Fire ring is down close to the water. If you're sitting behind the fire ring looking out at the lake, you're basically looking north or northwest. You have a fairly open view. The prevailing wind is going to be from the west down that way, so it will come right up the bay. That's where your sunset will be. Because you have these evergreens around the site, it should be fairly well shaded all day. You will get afternoon sun. You do have some trees that you can tuck into back there. Those evergreens form a nice windbreak, so you don't have to be out in the wind. There's not much of an open canopy. You won't have a phenomenal view of the night sky out straight up, but if you look out from the campsite toward the northwest, that's fairly open. You'll have a nice night view that way. Sunrise will be through the trees, basically over here. Of course, later in the summer it will come more from that direction, more from the northeast. You're on a little bit of a peninsula, so you can see there's something of a panoramic view. Really nice. You can hear the waves. They lap at the shore here. Hey, old Alaska hat there. Let me tip my hat to you. Nice sandy shore here. This is a fairly shallow area. You're going to have roots and stumps out in the water. Imagine if you get out far enough, it wouldn't be bad for swimming. Campsite 9, which is a water access site farther off to the west or the south. The campsites on either side, campsite 7 and campsite 9, are water access. This site is accessible from the water. So if you're staying here, you can expect people to be coming in from the water and off the Cranberry Lake 50. Just showing a little bit of a side profile of the site so you can get an idea of the slope. Although it doesn't look like a phenomenal tent site, it actually looks like a pretty good hammock site. You got some pretty well-spaced trees without much undergrowth around them where you could put up a hammock. Conditions are always changing, so you always have to look every time you come to a site. One of the things that's really nice here is that people have been really respecting the campsite and the area around it. I don't see stumps from people who've tried to cut down trees to burn in the campfire. They're using just dead and down wood, which is really nice. The opening around the campfire ring is not huge. No garbage in the fire ring. Of course, that can change, but it's always nice to see a lot of young trees growing up. Growth in here is fairly dense. It has fairly young trees, fairly small trees. Might be a little challenging to find a place to hang your food.